Hey guys, welcome into another YouTube Live. Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Wan, lifestyle physical therapist. What I do is I teach busy parents how to eliminate pain, how to get stronger and more mobile as they get older. But most importantly, it's how to always prioritize your body. And sometimes we don't prioritize it because we're always short on time. Sometimes we lack the motivation. Sometimes we just had a bad day. Our kids yell at us, or maybe they peed on the couch and it throws off the rest of our day. And a lot of times we make a lot of excuses for not taking care of our body. We don't move enough throughout the day. We don't move enough at work. Most importantly, we're not putting in the work and the inputs necessary on actually maintaining a higher quality of life through strength training. And if you guys look at any of my other videos on Dr. Jason Wan PT, you'll see that I am somebody that is probably the most consistent parent out there when it comes to taking care of my body, especially being in the gym pretty much 5 to even 7 days a week. So if you're listening right now and you're not subscribed, welcome in. You're in for a ride. Please feel free to subscribe to Dr. Jason Wan PT. I post weekly videos Mondays at 5 p.m. I also go live Mondays at 12 p.m. to share as much value to you guys as possible and also to answer any questions. You can see from the topic today. Today, we'll be talking about fitting in more exercise to your day, especially if you are a busy parent. Okay, so daily, the habits that we have in our that we learn that we can adopt make things more subconscious. I've heard the excuses before that I'm either lacking motivation or I'm lacking time. But if you make things more subconscious, or if you build better habits, then time is really not an excuse anymore. It's something that just fits naturally into your day, right? Do you ever say to yourself that I'm not going to eat because it's not a habit, right? We don't brush our teeth and be like we're consciously brushing our teeth, and if we get short on time or we have a bad day, we don't brush our teeth. Some things that we do in life were already automated. These are things that we've done consistently for years or even decades. So things like brushing our teeth do and are a habit, regardless if you're sad, regardless if you're happy, regardless of what's going on in your day. However, what we want to do is we want to make exercise a part of your day. We want to make strength training a habit. We don't want to rely on motivation, and we don't want to drag our neck. We don't want to drag ourselves into the gym in order to get ourselves to actually do something, right? Very often, this is what I hear from my clients is that, man, I dragged my ass, I dragged it to the gym, but when I got there, I felt better, right? It's the endorphin rush. You're getting a sweat in. Your body should actually feel better and it should feel warmer. But oftentimes we don't even get started. Okay. Sometimes we don't even like put on our tennis shoes or put on the clothes in order to actually get to the gym. So, how can we actually show up for ourselves each and every day? How do we make sure that we're preserving our body long term and not just letting it waste away? Because if you let it waste away from here, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, if you're a busy parent, is that you know what's going to happen long term. You know that you're going to reap the repercussions of continued decline of your function. You're going to lose the ability to do the things you love. You're going to lose the ability to take care of your kids. You could potentially could become a burden to your kids into your later years. Okay, and we don't want that to happen. Okay. If you're taking it more of a hedonistic approach where like you're just kind of living your day to day, you're living the YOLO mentality, right? You're really not like somebody that wants to see the long term gains, right? The long term future. Maybe you're not motivated by that. Maybe you're not motivated by the fear of dying early. If that's the case, that's fine, right? But to enjoy the process now of getting better, enjoying the process of becoming 1% better, 1% more habitual, that's what I'm going to try to teach you today. So buckle up, like I said, because I want to share with you at least three, if not more, different hacks that you can use in order to stay consistent with your exercises. Okay. And if you're watching this live right now, feel free to comment live. If you're watching this as a replay, feel free to also comment replay and also let me know your thoughts on the content that I'm putting out, because I want to make sure that my 12 p.m. lives are as valuable to you. I'd also love for you to subscribe and also click that bell notification so that you don't miss out on some of the 5 p.m.s. Right, 5 p.m. is where we usually post a weekly video. Sometimes it's about my fatherhood, sometimes about other things, but I'm just glad that you guys are here. All right. So let's talk about some of the hacks. The very first hack that I want to share with you, and I want you to start taking this is where you start taking the notes here. All right, the very first hack is called the 2 minute rule. The 2 minute rule, basically, I use this very often. Sometimes I'll just simply either use everyone has a smart speaker. So you either say Google or you say Alexa or you say Siri, whatever it is, and you just tell it, I want you to set a 2 minute timer right now. Okay, now during that 2 minute timer, what your goal is for that 2 minutes is number one, you're just going to start moving your body. I don't care if it's just flapping your body and rotating your body back and forth. I don't care if it's something that you've done in the past, like doing squats or doing push ups. You do something. Now, this is why it works because when you are very stressed out, or you're irritated, or you're depressed, or you're feeling overwhelmed, is that usually you curl up into a ball. Not physically, but your mind curls up into a ball. It limits your decision making, or it actually puts you in analysis paralysis. You're thinking, I have a million things to do, and I don't, I'm not sure where to start, right? Or you lack the motivation, right? Everyone has felt that way. Whenever you're depressed or overwhelmed, you tend to curl up into a metaphorical ball, and it stops you from doing anything. Well, if anything, what it actually does, it tells you to kind of take the easy route out. So we'll start to like get onto our social media, or like we'll be kind of texting back and forth, or like we'll be like just scrolling, looking at the cute cats online. You've done that before. The cute cats. Oh, let me share this with my mom, right? We've done that before. And we go into those states because we want to procrastinate. Procrastinate limits us. Procrastination happens for a reason, is because we don't want to face the hard stuff to do, right? Procrastination is just fear and uncertainty disguised. Okay, so if that is you and you resonate with that, that is literally like 80% of other parents that I speak to, 80% of other parents that I coach personally, is that we tend to do the easy stuff. The easy stuff is, well, if I need to squeeze a zit out, I'm going to do that instead. If I need to get on social media, I'm going to do that instead. It's the easy way to get that dopamine release rather than doing the hard thing, the thing that you're going to see the most long-term benefit from, which is AKA that's going to be strength training, moving your body, preserving your joint health, preserving your muscle health. Okay. So like I said, going back to the 2 minute rule is you set a 2 minutes and you simply start moving. Okay. I usually during the 2 minutes, which I do, I set a 2 minute timer on my phone, and I'm going to start doing at least squats, push-ups, and calf raises. It's just me. I have a very concerted way of like, these are the bare minimum things that I can do without equipment, without having to put on different clothes. It's just very easy. I just start squatting up and down, up and down, up and down. And guess what else I do? I get to the floor, start doing some push-ups, doing some push-ups, doing some push-ups. Guess what's happening? Exercise secretes all your happy chemicals: dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. DOSE. You get your daily dose of exercise, even if it's just for 2 minutes. And what you have officially done is, instead of looking at the damn starting line, you've actually crossed the starting line. That's the greatest thing about setting a 2 minute timer. You set a 2 minute timer. It doesn't matter if you're happy. It doesn't matter if you're depressed. It doesn't matter if you're feeling overwhelmed. You set the 2 minute timer and you're just like, I got to make the most out of these 120 seconds. I'm going to start moving my body. Guess what that does? It feeds into your habits. Okay. It feeds into you're inputting the right things that are keeping your body healthy. Not just that, but usually if you're overwhelmed, you feel less overwhelmed after exercise. Guess if you're feeling depressed, you feel less depressed after exercise. Guess if you're feeling sad, right? You feel less sad. That is the greatest benefits to just setting a 2 minute timer. Okay. Some people, they don't thrive off technology. It's cool. Set one of those like hard timers, right? Set the clock, the ones that are in the kitchen where it's a dial. If you're old school like that, do that instead. Okay. But set a 2 minute timer. I promise you, it will be the best 2 minutes of your day, especially if you've been skipping exercise over and over and over again, knowing that you have ownership over the decisions that you make. You can either continue to be sedentary, or you can set a 2 minute timer and at least start to fit in 2 minutes. Because guess what happens after the 2 minutes? You are going to feel better. And from there, you have a decision. You even have a decision after the 2 minutes. What are you going to do? You either, one, you can continue, set another 2 minute timer, or you're like, man, that made me feel amazing. So you're going to set a 5 minute timer or a 10 minute timer, and maybe you get in a full 15-minute workout, which is phenomenal. However, 2 minutes, You're allowed by Dr. J, you're allowing yourself to say, hey, well, I got in my 2 minutes. Now my day is still busy and I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to get back to taking care of the kids. Doesn't matter. But at least you're taking ownership of fitting in these little 2-minute hacks. Okay. So take advantage of the timers, take advantage of your smart speakers, take advantage of a physical timer, and just set 2 minutes. Okay. Make it a goal of doing 2 minutes a day. Because as long as you're trying to do 1% better, maybe you're going to do a 3-minute timer at some point. Maybe you're going to set a 5-minute timer, right? Always try to up level yourself. Okay. Take ownership of that. Okay. So here is number two. Number two is one of the biggest ones, and I probably do this the best. I love to teach my clients this. It's called habit stacks. Okay. Habit stacks is, I'm going to break this down for you. Okay. And if you are obliged to it, once you learn this from me within the next 2 to 5 minutes, comment right now. I want you to comment a habit stack that you're going to do. And I'm going to see that comment. I'm going to like it, comment it, and I'm going to put you responsible for it. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to do it. And after you learn, write down one habit stack into the comments. Okay. Okay. That's just you contract between you and I. So this is how you do it. I'm going to say a statement before, after, or during insert common activity. I'm going to insert exercise that you're going to do. So I'm going to repeat that one more time. Before, after, or during common activity, I'm going to insert activity that you want to do or insert exercise. Example, after every YouTube live that I do at Dr. Jason Wan PT, I will get to floor and I will foam roll my back. Or I will squat. I will do 10 squats. Okay, make it very specific. I will do 1 minute plank. I will walk 1 block around the house. I will go up and down the stairs twice. Okay, put a number to it. Okay, another thing that I do, I'm going to give you examples. Okay, before, after, or during, right? This is mine. I have 50 habit stacks. Okay, it's excessive, but I have a lot. During brush teeth, I do 10 plus single leg squats, meaning I do at least 10 single leg squats on each leg. Every time I brush my teeth, which my wife knows, she's probably going to call me and be like, yeah, he does it every single day. Brush teeth, 10 single leg squats every time. Okay. You do something that's going to solve something, right? Because if I want to keep my legs strong, the single leg squats, that habit stack is permanently embedded into my DNA. I do it every single time I brush my teeth. Okay. After every Zoom call, after Zoom calls with my clients, after a group coaching call with my clients, I get to the floor and I foam roll every time because my body, just like anybody else, I'm not perfect. My body gets stiff. Whenever you sit or stand at a computer, your neck or your upper back or your shoulders or something can get stiff. So guess what I do in order to reset my body throughout the workday? After every Zoom call. So if I do 4 Zoom calls, I'm going to get 4 sessions of foam rolling. Okay. At least 1 minute. Okay. That allows me to not be in pain at the end of the day. So let me know if you're watching this right now, is if you're learning this before, after, or during drinking coffee, while coffee's brewing. Why don't I put something in the microwave? Microwave takes 30 to 60 seconds. A lot of my clients love the microwave. When I, during when I put something in microwave, I'm going to do some assisted squats at the counter. I'm going to stretch my upper back. I'm going to do lunges. I'm going to do calf raises the entire time while something's in the microwave. These are called habit stacks, right? Okay. One more habit stack, because I don't want to give you guys all of it, but I'm going to give you another, right? Before dinner, I will get to floor and I'll throw my son on my back and I'm going to do push-ups. And that is a thing. And what I'm saying to myself is I can't, or I don't deserve to eat dinner until I've gotten my toddler resisted push-ups. Toddler gets on my back, my son gets on my back, and I do push-ups. Okay. That way I fit in more exercise into my daily life. And I'm not thinking that I need to like force in a 30 to 60-minute workout routine, which some of us, yes, if you can carve out the time for that, that's great. We'll go into our next habit hack in just a bit. But if you can at least fit in 1 minute here, you could fit in 4 minutes here. Okay, you could take advantage of the 2-minute rule, or you can develop these habit stacks. And what you do is you write down these habit stacks. You write it down on a Google Doc or a piece of paper before, after, or during. Insert activity that you already do. What is something that you do in your daily life that you already do? And then you will insert activity that you want to do. Usually that activity should be some form of exercise that you have not been doing. Squats or calf raises or foam rolling or massaging your body in some way or form, right? Keeping your body healthy. Okay. Even if, let's say, you're a person that stays dehydrated, right? That's usually not good. You get lethargic and you feel weak throughout the day. Okay. After blank, I'm going to go to the water station and then fill up my water bottle and drink 1 to 2 glasses of water. Okay, you add in these stacks, and then you can stack things on top of it, right? It could be after, it could be like after Zoom session, I foam roll, and then I do 10 squats after the foam roll. That's why it's called a stack, because you can do common activity, then you can insert a stack, which is one exercise, and then you could stack up another one if you wanted to. That's why it's called habit stacking. Okay, stacks aren't just limited to your common activity and the activity that you want to do. It could be common activity, then another activity after that, right? So these are the stacks that you can do. Okay, so if you've learned this, if I've kind of hit this home enough, is go ahead and insert before, after, during right now into the YouTube comments, and then also insert some activity that you want to do. So insert that full statement and then let me know what you think of. All right, cool. So first one was 2-minute rule. Second one was called habit stacking. Okay. Third one is scheduling. Okay. Because too often we let our kids govern our schedule. We also let our work govern our schedule. We also let our chores govern our schedule, but we don't oftentimes prioritize what's necessary, which would usually be exercise. Okay. So I'll always say to my clients, like, hey, let's say my client's a business owner. Let's say he has his own clients. I'm like, hey, well, I mean, you have your client at 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m. Okay. At what point was your client more important than your health? Right? Answer that question for me as well. Answer that question. At what point, if you're a banker, at what point is being a banker more important than your own health? Okay. Even if it's your kids, I know that your kids are like number one. I get that. My kids are number one in my life too. But at what point in your life were your kids more important than your own health? Because we've heard that before. My interjection and my objection to that is like how I rebuttal that is like it's the gas mask analogy, right? Is that when the gas masks deploy and the airplane's going down, do you put the gas mask on yourself first or do you put it on your kids first? Right? Because what happens, right? If you don't put yourself first, then you could faint and then both of you guys die, right? So the simplest answer to that is you put the gas mask on yourself first, save yourself first, keep your body healthy and strong and pain free, and then help your kids, right? So at what point are your clients or your schedules or your hobbies or even, for example, like chores, at what point are those things more important than your own mental and physical health? Like answer that. Like if you don't have a good excuse for that, then what you need to do is you need to schedule your priorities. You need to after you develop these habit stacks and after you start getting in at least 2 minutes of exercise through putting in that timer, now your ownership, now your privilege is to now take care of your health. So what do? You need to take Saturday or Sunday. Okay, go to your Google or Apple calendar right now. We're going to do this together. Go to your Saturday or Sunday calendar and set a time where your kids aren't just going to distract you. Set an event in your schedule that's going to repeat for Saturday at 9 a.m. or Sunday at 9 a.m. or Sunday at 7 a.m. Whatever you want to do, something on the weekend. And now what you're going to do is I'm going to say on that day, I'm going to make it a concerted effort to work out twice a week. whatever that's going to be, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hour. Do something that is respectable, right? Don't just say 5 minutes, but do something that's demanding enough, but that's not going to be overwhelming. So if you can't commit to 90 minutes, don't put 90 minutes. Okay. Let's say it's 30 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes. Now, where in your schedule? Look over the next 7 days because you're doing this on the weekend. Look over the next 7 days and figure out what you're going to do. I'm going to do 2 days a week, 30 minutes. Okay. That's going to be Tuesday and Thursday. What time is that going to be? It's going to be Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. when I get off work. Right when I shut down my laptop, I'm going to put my tennis shoes on and I'm going to work out. Okay. Now you're going to create an event. So Tuesday, what are you going to do? Tuesday, leg workout, 30 minutes of weight training. Great. Awesome. Okay. Thursday, upper body training, 30 minutes. Great. It is solidified in your schedule. If you need to, set a 15-minute cushion before the 5 p.m. So you would do 4:45 p.m. and you would say, say it to your name, like, Louisa, I'm going to now put it into my schedule, and this is going to be my decompression time to shut down my laptop, get my tennis shoes on, fill up my water, and then by 5 p.m., that's when you start. So you can set that decompression or that break time 15 minutes beforehand, and that way you'll also see that on your calendar to show up too. Okay. This has worked for a lot of my clients. It's sometimes not the first thing because committing to a full 30 minutes is kind of defeating the purpose. Sometimes you want to incorporate these little small wins first through habit stacks and then also the 2-minute rule. And those are really easy ones and more time efficient ones to get in your day. I'm not saying that you have to solve for the first and the second hack first. Like you could do all three of these at once, but you usually want to get into a rhythm of like a couple habit stacks under your belt and also the 2-minute rule. Then the third thing that you can do is then set it in your schedule as a priority. Remember, the mindset is if you have clients or you have patients or you have like a storefront, whatever, if you have meetings, at what point is your work, your chores, or anything in your life more important than your health? Most people die realizing that they should have taken either one, better care of their health, or two, better relationships, right? If you ever read that book about like the 5 regrets of dying, read that book. It was made by a palliative nurse. Is that people have regrets in life of not taking better care of their health because the last 5 to 10 years of their life was, let's say, putrid, or they felt disabled for the last 5 to 10 years, versus somebody like hopefully myself that I can enjoy the very last moments of my life for the rest of my life and spend it with my family. Like, one is poor health. They should have taken better care of their health earlier in life. Number two, they wish they should have connected with people. But guess what? That if that's one of the regrets of dying, which is connecting with people, you need a strong and more resilient body in order to connect. Because you can't connect with your grandkids if you can't keep up with them. You can't continue to do things with your kids if your body and your body's not in check. Okay. That's why I'm stressing to you, especially if you're a busy parent like myself that struggles with overwhelm, struggles with time efficiency. You always skip your workouts. You always feel a sense of guilt and sorrow, like, oh, I should be taking care of my body. Start next Monday. Start next Monday. Start next Monday. This is the moment. This is the live training that you've been waiting for. You need to start taking ownership. So start with this quick wins of 2 minutes and little habit stacks. Then finally set Saturday or Sunday to now say, this is the time that I'm going to start scheduling out my workouts, and schedule it in. Okay. Set the decompression or the break time beforehand if you need it. Okay. In the book, Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the laws is this. Okay. Don't prioritize your schedule your priorities. Okay. That means that we often just take things one at a time. We don't plan ahead. We're simply just, this fire needs to get put out. I need to do the trash. I need to dust the shelves. Oh, now I need to pay my bills. Oh, now my kid just went pee on the floor. Now I got to clean that. Now you're it's so unfulfilling when you're just kind of taking it day by day. When you're just like doing one task after another, it doesn't feel fulfilling. It just feels like you're in the rat race. You're just trying to keep up with your to-do list. Rather than, you will feel so much more fulfilled if, for example, like I'll go a little off topic. If you're like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, or I want to spend, time to like create a song because I'm a previous guitarist. It's much more fulfilling to like say, I'm gonna break out the time to do 2 hours of just writing a song and then writing out the lyrics and then practicing the guitar. And let's say if you actually fulfill it, you feel more fulfilled getting the big rocks done. Or I feel more fulfilled when I actually get my 60-minute workout in. You actually like, oh my gosh, like I finally completed something that I've been neglecting for weeks or months or years, right? When you get that in, that amazing rush of dopamine, right? You feel so much more fulfilled when you're prioritizing the right things. But most parents, 90% of parents just do it wrong. They're just surviving. They're not thriving. They're just kind of going through the day to day, putting out all the fires in their life. By that time, it's 9 p.m. already. Then you're like, good God, I'm tired. Guess what you do? Netflix, social media, done for the day. Repeat, 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 repeat. Okay. I say this with a lot of passion because I'm not perfect either. I've been in these situations. I've been in situations where my kids are really young, my schedule, like my sleep schedule, is super off. And when you're not taking care of your health, or sometimes when you're forced to during those times where your kids are really young, it's like I felt that before. I felt that I just want to shut down my brain, just survive, right? And then I do the easy stuff. I'm not working out and I'm just on social media, just scrolling, 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 right? Sending the cat videos to my mom. Okay. You don't want to be that person. Okay. Start to identify not as yourself, start to identify as a person you want to become. Okay. Say that again. Identify as the person you want to become, not who you are right now. Okay. Because when you start to do the hard stuff, when you start to challenge yourself, when you start to actually implement the things that I'm saying on this live training, your life will change. You will become a stronger parent. You'll become a stronger individual. Okay. Your body will feel better. You'll feel less lethargic. You'll finally start to get to your health and fitness goals. Okay. So if this is motivating for you, okay, like I said, please support the channel. Obviously, feel free to share this with people. Subscribe if you hadn't to, because like I said, the call to action here is like every Monday at live, every Monday at 12, I'm going live to show up for you guys. Okay, so not just motivate you guys, right? This is more motivating. You can feel it, right? Get this motivation. Yeah, let's do it, right? Let's do it, right? Live trainings will also be about like different topics around like pain relief, weight loss, strength training, right? Sometimes habits, right? I like to span the gamut of everything that encompasses good holistic health. But please, support the channel. Obviously, I'm trying to do the work that I've been so passionate about, which is helping busy parents to get back to a pain-free and more robust life. So do me a favor, okay? Click the like button. You do that, this allows this live training to kind of be more shareable to people. Okay, comment because it is motivating. This is my life's work. This is what I'm here to do in this world. And I really appreciate your support. Okay, so going into one more hack here, and this is not really a hack, okay, but this is a hack that really worked for me. Okay, this hack here probably gets into the emotions, it gets into the nitty gritties. Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to share with you guys. Okay, and I'm going to end this live training so that you guys can watch this over and over again. The last thing is to know your why. Okay, it's the know WHY. Now, you might have watched a lot of videos and a lot of workout videos and like, saved all like Carolyn Gervin's videos and be like, oh, I got to do this, right? Oh, she's motivating. I got to do it, right? And then what do you do? You just keep putting it off. You just bookmark things, you save things on Instagram, you save things on YouTube, and you just never do it. But the reason why is because you're only connecting with the what. You're only connecting with the how, right? So if Carolyn Gervin, don't get me wrong, Carolyn Gervin's stuff is amazing, right? She's great. I sometimes, honestly, I'll use her videos just like if I just want to do a random video like on vacation, I'll do it, okay? But let's put it this way. She kind of shows you what to do, okay? And let's say if you watch one of my tutorials on like pain relief or like how to like move your body or use a foam roll, right? You know how to do it as well, right? So I'm very good at teaching my clients how to do exercise properly, how to do a proper deadlift, right? I even show like, hey, this is what you need to do. These are the 5 exercises for neck pain. You know what, you know how. But if you don't know why, you're not going to stick with it long term. You may do it for a while, but you don't have a strong enough why. So this is what I want you to do. This is going to be a mental exercise for all you guys. What I want you to do is write down your health and fitness goal. Write it down in either what piece of paper is write down on the top, write down your health and fitness goal in permanent marker. And if you want to, you could also do the circle form, which is like write your health and fitness goal in the middle of the paper and then circle it. Okay. Now, what you do after that is you ask yourself, why do I want to get to blank? Right? Why do I want to do that? And so if you're doing the list form, write why right underneath it. In less than 10 words, just write, why do I want to lose 20 pounds? Why do I want to get rid of my neck and back pain? Okay, that's your health and fitness goal. Why do I want to become stronger at age 40? Okay. Now, underneath that, what we're trying to do is, AKA, like this is a metaphorical thing, where we're trying to peel the layers of the onion, right? We're just at the surface level, right? It's the yellow skin that you peel off, and then you start to peel each layer of the onion. And each layer of the onion is another why question. So then let's say your why, your first why was like, why do you want to become pain free? Why do you want to get rid of neck and back pain? Because it's a nuisance and it messes with my productivity at work. Okay. Well, why do you want to be more productive at work? So that's the second question. So after that, it's like, well, I want to get a raise and I want to be more financially well. Okay, great. Ask it again. Why do you want to be more financially well? And why do you want to be more productive at work? Why do you want to make more money? Well, it's because I want to provide my family a better life. Okay, cool. Why do you want to provide your family a better life? And you just keep going. You just keep going. You you keep peeling the layers of the onion, because once you peel the layer and you get to the core reason, right? Once you get to that core reason, you're identifying and you're finding the center of who you are, right? You're finding the things that really make you tick, that really motivate you, that allow you to dig so deep that you will do anything to make an effort to reach that, right? So let's say the last whys are like, well, why do you want to be financially well? Why do you want to provide for your family? Because I love my kids the most. I feel like a lot of times if I'm in the rat race and I'm super stressed out about finances, it messes with my mental health and I don't show up for my family. So what I want to do is I want to become more financially well. I want to get rid of my neck and back pain so that I can be more present with my family. I don't want to feel like a burden to my family. I want to provide for them financially. I want to be the best version of me. And I love them so much that I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order to get to my fitness goal. And that's why. And so I always say this, and I've been saying this for years, but you want to get to such a strong sense of why that it puts you to tears and that you will do anything. You will do anything to get to that goal. Because when you can resonate with a why that is much deeper than yourself, that's much deeper than just the superficial things you've been doing. When you can actually write them down, and as you're writing them down, tears are falling onto your pen, right? Tears are rushing through your eyes, and you're like, God, why have I been neglecting my health for this long? Right? Why have I done this? Why have I gotten to this point of complacency? Why, after 5 years of just hurting my body, my body declining in health, why have I gotten to this point? Because when you know the deepest sense of why, you will pull yourself out of the trenches. You might have dug yourself a hole, but you will do everything in your power to get yourself out of that hole to finally reach your health and fitness goals. Okay. So along with the habit hacks is knowing the mental side of things. Okay. I've always said this is that, like, when I was in college, my dad, who I love the most, he passed away. He passed away due to colon cancer. And so for me, I've found my why. My why is my family. Okay. I have two tattoos on my arms, which you probably seen in videos, and they both represent my kids. One of them's my son, and one of them's my daughter on my forearm. Because I'm not perfect either. When there are times where I lose a sense of self, when I'm losing hope, when I'm losing a sense of consistency with my exercise, you know what I do? I just simply look down. I look down at my arms. I look down at my tattoos that represent my family, and it puts me to tears. And I'm like, who am I to just sit on my ass and not take care of me? Okay. And like, if I want to be, if when my kids are 30 and I'm 50, I'm 60 years of age, do I still want a body that can function? Or do I want a body that's declining in health and I can't keep up with them? And when I have grandkids, or when I'm older, is that I'm not able to enjoy my vacations. I'm not able to enjoy tennis. I'm not able to enjoy the hobbies that I'm doing right now. And maybe your body's already declining. Maybe you have to put off your hobbies. Maybe you can't keep up with your kids right now. That in itself should put you to tears, right? And if it's not, ask yourself why more. You know the what, you know the how, you're learning from these videos. You can write down all these habit hacks. But what are the use of all these habit hacks I'm teaching you if you don't know why? So that is part of the habits, right? That is your fourth and final bonus for today. It's like, do you have a strong and more compelling reason for why you're going to make changes from today? Because if you don't, you're going to fail again. Okay. And I don't want to continue to see you fail again. Okay. And it's okay to fail once in a while. Okay. We all fail, but we all learn from those mistakes. But from here, are you going to continue to identify as who you are now? Or are you going to step into a new role and identify as the person that you want to become? Because the person that you want to become is much harder to achieve. It's going to challenge you. It's going to stretch you. It's going to stretch you in saying like, good, I know that weight training is important, but I've just been letting the dust pick up, right? I have this gym membership that I've been neglecting for 12 months. I spend the money on it. I don't do anything with it. What are you going to do from here? Do you have that why that's going to compel you to like end this live training, immediately get a gym membership, or immediately start picking up weights, start implementing the things that you're learning here? Okay. So in any case, that's what I got for you guys today. Okay. If you guys found that helpful, like I said, my mission is to grow this channel and to specifically help more busy parents get rid of pain, get back to a stronger and more robust life, and build the habits necessary so they can be more serviceable, so that they can make taking care of their health more subconscious. So do me a favor, as my mission is, please just click the like. Also comment below, comment anything that you learned from these habits. Let me know which habit hacks you're going to do. Give me feedback on what you want to learn. Comment anything that you want that you learned from today. Okay, that would be amazing, because when people are looking up busy parent stuff, you know, my videos will be more searchable. And like I said, Mondays at 12, I'll be live every single week for you guys. Unless I'm on vacation, I'll announce that ahead of time. But also I do put out weekly videos Mondays at 5 p.m. as well. Okay, so that's it. I really hope that you found this inspiring. I really hope that this kind of jogged you in the right direction. I hope that this motivated you to get up off of the couch and to finally start moving your body. But just a little caveat, you don't rely on motivation. You don't rely on willpower. Those are things that I think are considered positive things, but they don't really inch the needle forward long term, because motivation and willpower will run out. After they run out, what are you going to rely on? You got to rely on your habits. Here, you got to rely on your why. Okay, you might falter once in a while, but when you have a big why factor, it compels you to get back onto your habits. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I greatly appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful and I'm so happy to be on this platform to share, I guess, my knowledge, my passions, my addiction for health. And I really hope that you learn a lot. All right. I'll see you guys on the next Monday, and have a beautiful rest of your day.